Chase Elliott just finished one of the strangest seasons of his career. He never dominated, he never won, yet he became the center of the entire NASCAR conversation. Fans can't agree on what really happened this year. So what did he do that shocked everyone? Chase Elliott's 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season has been one of the most debated topics among fans, analysts, and the entire racing community. The year was not defined by dominating victories or unforgettable last-lap battles. Instead, it became a study in consistency, pressure, and the kind of massive fan loyalty very few athletes in any sport ever achieve. He competed with calm focus, carried enormous expectations, and still managed to influence the sport more than almost any other driver on the grid. This document takes a deep look into Elliott's season. What made him so consistent? What held him back? Why fans love him more than ever? And what this year truly means for his future. One of the most surprising realities of the 2025 season is how steady Chase Elliott remained from race to race. At a time when drivers struggled with mechanical failures, chaotic restarts, rough strategy calls, and unpredictable finishes, Elliott stood firm. Reports confirmed he was the only driver in the entire NASCAR Cup Series to finish inside the top 20 in all of the first 17 races. That level of consistency is almost unheard of in modern NASCAR. At several points, Elliott ranked inside the top 5 in the championship standings despite not winning a single event. Analysts noted that after 16 races, he sat 4th in the regular season standings and held the 3rd best average finish of all full-time drivers. This shows how much the number 9 team kept themselves in the mix, even without dominant speed. Elliott's calm approach and steady driving style became the backbone of his year. He stayed out of trouble, he avoided unnecessary risks. He completed almost every lap, he executed his pit cycles with precision. His racecraft focused on long-run strength, managing tires, and staying patient in traffic. These qualities helped him survive races that took out faster cars. Every week, fans tuned in expecting him to deliver at least a solid result. In a season filled with unpredictable finishes across the field, Elliott offered something rare: stability, reliability, predictability. Even when he was not the fastest car on track, he still protected his points position. Many drivers would love to have the type of consistent performance Elliott managed. It kept him relevant in the playoff conversation, gave his team a trustworthy data set, and showed that Hendrick Motorsports maintained strong fundamentals even in an uneven year. But while consistency was the foundation of his performance, the missing element became almost impossible to ignore. Even in a season full of stability, Chase Elliott faced major challenges that prevented him from reaching victory lane. The biggest issue was speed. While the number 9 was almost always fast enough to stay competitive, it was rarely fast enough to threaten the leaders. In multiple interviews, Elliott openly admitted that, although he appreciated the good finishes, the season was not where he wanted it to be. He stated clearly that the year had been good, but not satisfying for himself or his team. His honesty reflected what fans saw every week. The car was strong enough for 10th or 12th, but not strong enough for 1st. A major weakness Elliott identified was qualifying. Starting positions are critically important in the Cup Series. He found himself beginning races in the middle of the field more often than he liked. This meant he had to fight through heavy traffic, battle polluted air, and avoid mid-pack chaos before he could even think about challenging the leaders. Even when the number 9 car had good long-run pace, the early part of every race created obstacles. By the time Elliott worked his way forward, the leaders already had clean air and were locked in a strong track position. Analysts also pointed out that the number 9 team lacked the kind of explosive one-lap speed needed to dominate qualifying sessions. That meant Elliott rarely started on the front rows and rarely had the clean track needed to control a race from the beginning. The playoff format also punished the lack of wins. NASCAR rewards drivers who take risks, secure stage points, and grab victories. Solid finishes help with consistency, but championships require speed. Without race-winning pace, the ceiling of Elliott's season became limited. These challenges shaped the narrative of his year. Elliott was one of the most consistent drivers on the schedule, but he remained stuck in a competitive middle ground, strong enough to stand near the top of the standings, but just short of the performance needed to take control. Even though the season lacked victories, Chase Elliott delivered something no other driver could match. He won the NASCAR Most Popular Driver Award for the 8th straight year. That achievement places him among the most beloved athletes in the history of the sport. His father, Bill Elliott, won the award 16 times, making the Elliott family the most iconic fan favorites NASCAR has ever known. Chase accepted the award through a video message during the end-of-season ceremony. He was not part of the championship four, yet the entire fan base still lifted him above every star in the field. His gratitude was clear. He thanked fans for their constant support, for sticking by him during tough seasons, and for believing in him even when the wins were not coming. This loyalty says something powerful about his connection to NASCAR fans. Elliott represents honesty, humility, and relatability. Fans see him as someone who carries himself with respect, communicates openly, and maintains integrity both on and off the track. Even in a season where he did not win, his supporters never wavered. Sponsors recognize this, teams notice it, broadcasters rely on it. Whenever Elliott appears at the track, attendance increases, merchandise sales rise, conversations shift toward him. The number 9 car continues to be one of the most recognizable brands in the entire sport. Popularity does not guarantee wins, but it does guarantee influence. And in 2025, Elliott showed that he remains one of NASCAR's most important stars, even without visiting victory lane. Winning the Most Popular Driver award 8 times in a row does not come without responsibility. Every race Chase Elliott runs is heavily scrutinized, every interview he gives is analyzed, every performance is compared to the expectations of millions of supporters. Throughout 2025, the weight of those expectations was clear. Elliott carried the pressure with calm professionalism, but the reality of racing in the spotlight was always there. Fans expected wins. Analysts expected deep playoff runs. Teams expected breakthroughs. Elliott's own expectations were even higher. His interviews revealed a driver who wanted to return to the top. He knew exactly where his performance was lacking. He knew his qualifying pace needed improvement. He knew the number 9 car needed more speed, and he knew fans wanted to see him back in victory lane. Chase Elliott felt the pressure all season, but he stayed calm and focused. He avoided risky moves, protected his points, and raced with patience. Some fans thought he was too careful, but it showed his maturity and smart decision-making. His driving style proved he is one of the most consistent and disciplined racers in the field. He stayed out of trouble, managed his car well, and rarely made costly mistakes. While other drivers crashed or overpushed, Elliott kept his races clean and used long-run speed to stay competitive. This showed true championship qualities even without wins. To move forward, he needs 2 things: better qualifying so he starts closer to the front, and more raw speed so he can fight for victories. These small improvements could instantly turn top 10 finishes into wins. Hendrick Motorsports understands this, and Elliott does too. He is very close to breaking through again. With a bit more speed and stronger starting positions, he can return to the championship fight. His 2025 season was built on consistency, character, and loyal supporters. Even without a win, he proved he is still one of the biggest forces in NASCAR.